Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the new moon in Gemini. So May the 22nd. Well, depending where you are. I think it might be the 23rd somewhere, but I think mainly the May the 22nd, depending where you are in the world. Now, this is quite a complicated new moon, so I'm not going to dive into the astrology for it greatly, because there's loads of professional astrologers here on YouTube who have done it so much better than me. And if you want to see their interpretations of it, there's a link down below for my for the Facebook group for this channel, and I post all of their videos there as well. Now, this is a bulk introduction, so you can watch more than one of them, because watch your sun, watch your moon, watch your rising, like I say every single time. And if you don't know what your moon and rising are, there's a link down below as well for a free birth chart. It's really important to watch your rising, because then you also know what house the new moon or whatever event is occurring in. As long as you know what your rising or ascendant is, that'll explain a lot. Right, so being a general reading rules apply. If there's another person who features in here, which don't often, but it does happen, roles can be reversed. I can assume I'm talking about them and I'm talking about you, and vice versa, because the cards don't come with name tags. Timing is hardly absolute. This is a weird new moon, because you could say its energies last for 2 weeks, because the full moon is a lunar eclipse. So that will supersede the new moon energy. However, new moons set things, they plant things, they start the creation of things. So there's a cycle from this new moon in Gemini to the full moon in Gemini, which I assume is about 6 months down the line. I assume they're about 6 months away. Are they? Yeah, I'll assume. I'm sure it's not. No, it's about a month away, isn't it? Anyway, I'll work that out later. Brain is obviously not firing on all cylinders right now. Like I say, general reading. However, this reading either is for you or it isn't, because it does have a bit of a past and a present. So if the past and the present don't fit, it's a Celtic cross spread. It's the way I read. It's not really a take what resonates, leave the rest. It's either take the lot or don't. But what I would like you to do is ask a question beforehand. So pause the video if you have to, take a moment to think about all of the questions that surround you. Focus on one of them, because energy in, energy out. Basically you focus, hopefully gives the reading energy, and I return that to you in the reading. But be aware of all of the questions, because the cards will answer whatever they please to, and not necessarily what you and I think is the most important question. Now back to this new moon in Gemini. It is a moon that is seeking to find the truth. It is the Gemini energy is one that likes to look at things from both sides, take things to bits to examine it, separate them so they can join them back together again. But at the same time, we've got Venus retrograde square Neptune, plus we've got all the other retrogrades that are occurring, Saturn, Jupiter, all of those that are going on, so that you need to be aware that really it's truth that's close to home. It's personal truth that you are trying to find. And also, what is true right now might not still be true in 2 or 3 weeks' time. However it works, it might not still be true. So it's personal truth in the moment, living in the now. That's always a good new age hippie concept, isn't it? Living in the now. And I think this new moon in Gemini certainly is going to give us an opportunity to examine our nows and see, are we really living in it, and what do we want to change if we are? Okay, so that's enough waffle out of me. Like I say, look at the astrologers videos in the Facebook group. Now, in that Facebook group, you can message me directly if you want a personal reading. You can also message me through Twitter and Tumblr. The details are down below. Other than that, please press the like button if you like the reading, or the subscribe button. Definitely the subscribe button. It really helps the channel, or as Namaste TV call it, the Google politics. But let me shut up now and bring up the cards for you. Okay, Virgo, and welcome Virgo moons and rising if you've just joined us after the timestamp. Now, if my calculations are correct, Virgo rising, this is in your 10th house, which is your achievements and status in the outside world. But it seems far more home focused, to be quite honest. I see you in a pretty good position at the moment. We have the Sun card as the centre of the reading, the situation where you are at right now, clarified by the Page of Pentacles, a chance to level up, a chance to make things even better than what they were before. And let's face it, they're looking like they're pretty good, even though I don't think you're feeling that. I think you're pretty much feeling, is this what I want? Hang on a minute, this isn't quite what I signed up for. Because how you're feeling is signified here by the Hanged Man, but clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm also almost tempted, much like the previous reading, which would have been Leo? Yep, Leo. It's almost like, I know I should be happy because things are going well, but why am I not? And why you're not is for two reasons. One, you can do more or get more out of the situation, or you can level up in one way, shape or form. And clarity to that is being brought to you. But it's also clarity about that which stresses you out and that which causes anxiety for you. Spirit is coming in with the Ace of Swords, clarified by the 9. So clarity, but nightmares, tension, stress, you know, all the things that go on with the 9 of Swords. So it's almost like you're being asked to look at your shadow self and heal it, resolve it, understand it, do whatever work that you need to do with it during this period. Because I do want to warn you, at the very end here, we have the Tower as the final outcome. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's clearing the deck and opening up a whole new board game for you, allowing you to do the leveling up that you are hoping to do at the moment. Because it's almost like the harvest that you are receiving at the moment isn't really as good as what you had hoped it would be. It's not, it's just not quite there. All the, you know, everything's coloured right, everything's smells right, everything, but it's almost like a printing error where the colours are just slightly outside the lines. You know, everything just shifted very slightly. Now, part of this influence will no doubt be the Venus retrograde square Neptune that's been featuring in all of these readings. The Hanged Man has not been an unusual card in these readings so far for the new moon. But I'm also feeling that the reason that you are being brought to consider all of this is that this shadow side aspect of you is what's causing the dissatisfaction and causing the, you know, because if you're wanting to level up, there's two reasons. One, you naturally want to level up because why not? Because you can. You know, that's a very Dragon Ball Z option. Or two, you're not quite satisfied with how things are at the moment. And with a harvest that doesn't seem to be everything it's cracked up to be, then I can understand that one as well. But we have, over the reading, the guardian angel of maturity. As I take responsibility, I also develop my strength. So that's why I think Spirit is bringing in clarity about what it is that stresses you out and what it is that has been causing you anxiety, nightmares, even that sense of dissatisfaction. Because remember, if you remember your law of attraction 101, then you should be in an attitude of gratitude. Oh, I hate that phrase, but it is true. You know, there's the attitude of gratitude is something that helps you manifest. And I'm sure I saw, yes, Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is a lesson on how to manifest coming for you. We have Queen of Wands and the Hanged Man, and on the bottoms of the deck. So I'm feeling like you are hanging upside down on that tree, gaining instruction, just like Odin did. The other thing is, as I take responsibility, I also develop my strength. We have, out of the wisdom of the House of Night, the Strength card. You're not sent anything that you cannot deal with. We have, clarifying this Tower card in the final outcome, the Strength card. You will have the strength to deal with whatever this sweeping of the board is. From the Queen of the Moon oracle, we have resilience, and then from the Moonology, a new start is coming with the new moon card. So now you are tying up loose ends. Now you are delving into I mean, you surged ahead with this in the past, but almost I think that you was like, well, right, that's it, I've done enough now. We've got Knight of Wands with the Temperance, clarified by Temperance. But I also feel on this particular card, those cups aren't, let me hold it closer. Those cups aren't anywhere near as far away from each other as they should be. You know, this particular Temperance angel is being a little bit lazy. You know, they should be like that or like this. Yeah, or no, do that so you can see them on the camera. You know, they're not just like the, you know, that is what I call half-hearted. But there is a transformation coming if you accept this wisdom of spirit and the help, it appears, of one other. Because we've got the Two of Cups at the moment. We've got Nine of Pentacles at the base of the situation. So this is work that you're doing on your own. But you are doing it by bringing two things together, or under the watchful gaze of somebody else who can assist you with this and be a natural mirror and a natural... yeah, no, I'm going to stick with mirror, but a natural companion. They're not leading you through it. They are, every time you reach up, their hand is there to meet you, so they're climbing at the same level. They may even be going through a similar process as you, which should be an incredibly bonding moment, but they also seem to have an innate sense of how to proceed forward. And I think that they are learning by your efforts just as much as you are learning by their... I don't want to say instruction. It doesn't feel like instruction. It feels like intuition. It feels that they don't know what the right thing is to say until the moment that they say it. You know, with instruction, you automatically think of lesson plans and, okay, we do stage 1, then stage 2, then stage 3. You know, and no, this reflective force that's around you, it's not like that. It's more... they don't know the right thing to say until they've said it, and it just comes naturally. But you're worried that with wanting to level up and solve all these things, that your dreams will all just crumble to dust, you know, and that you're not going to get there. But you have so much strength here, you know, resilience, angel of maturity, strength. There's so much here being given to you. And this is something that you can ground in the real world. The King of Pentacles here from the Demon Possessed Tarot with the Moon. So you are grounding this more spiritual, more illusionary activity into the real world. Remember, the King of Pentacles is all that, you know, as some tarot readers say, and I've started saying now as well. But they are practical, they are mature. They are ones that build and make progress. But we have, for the time that you're passing into, Six of Swords and Judgment card, transformation. But I do feel that there's an element of... Ooh, now what analogy can I use? Monopoly. You're in jail. Now's your chance to throw your third double to get out. You don't have to pay 50 quid. You need to throw your third double. And with Spirit's insight, it will click in and go, there's your double. Just like Luke levitating the rock in Star Wars, or the rock, that sounds like he's levitating Dwayne Johnson. But you know what I mean, that boulder, the boulder. Now there's an image, eh? Now this is something that can be, this is a process that can be upskittled. The god force that's working against you, like the archontic god force, we have Perseus with gifts. So it's almost like, if we can see down here with the Nine of Pentacles, you have to rely upon yourself with this, even with the assistance of this other person or this other influence. But you don't want gifts at the moment. You need to be able to do this through your own efforts, and you need to resolve whatever this is that's been creating an inner anxiety, an inner wound. It is your shadow self. That's why I said shadow self all the way. We've got Pluton with the underworld working for you. But someone's saying, oh, here's something that will solve it all. No, you've got to do the work. You've got to work through it yourself. Because this tower moment is coming, and this could be a wonderful, liberating experience. I almost feel like with this tower, the eye that appears at the top and is beaming across the world, it's not turning it into that distort image. That eye is viewing the distorted world with a view to setting it right. The eye is just opened in the sky, and everything, that tower is slowly going from like that to go upright, as it should do. And the proper form of reality is supposed to take over, whatever the proper form of reality is. You know, it's a very subjective phrase. But this is a spiritual process for you, but you have to dive into your own underworld. You have to dive into your own secrets. And I have to say, you have to dive into... Okay. I'm getting the sense of death with this card. But I think it's in terms of like a spiritualist sense. You know, it's not like people are going to be dropping around you. It's that somebody who died a few years ago, there's some issues to do with that. Somebody who died a couple of decades ago, maybe. You know, there's all sorts of things that these people can be clues for how you need to retune yourself and work forward. Because remember, 9 is also a number of rebirth, of constantly regenerating itself. It may disappear in numerology, but it is constantly there, underlying any numerological calculation that you care to do, that it will take part in. And like I say, new start coming. So you need to have all the tools. The interesting thing is we've got Simikiel, the Angel of Vengeance. That's another thing that links with this Nine of Swords and the Underworld. Simikiel is about... Well, Simikiel can be summoned when you are wanting vengeance, but bear in mind his blade cuts both ways. So if what you have been doing has been less than stellar, you will get just as... damaged, let's put it that way, that's not the phrase going in my mind, but damaged by his blade as who you're aiming it at. So I think that there must be some element of forgiveness that is required, some element of forgiveness for something that's been sealed away for a long, long time. Something where Beelzebul here, as the moon, was saying that this is a spiritual process, but his flies were everywhere, and they were his spies, they were his eyes and ears. So it's information will be coming to you, Page of Swords from other people here, that will help click things together. And I think there'll be an element of, oh, so that's why I've always had this knee-jerk reaction, or that particular behaviour, or that distaste for something, or that stress, that nightmare, that anxiety, you know, however deep this goes for you. Let me just grab Simikiel. I always bookmark these beforehand just in case I need to read them out. When the time comes, we all call its name. It is ever the instinct in our throat when we seek retribution. We choke on it even as we languish in every syllable. But those who call on Simikiel without cause will have harm fall back upon them threefold. It is the way of Simikiel's sword, cutting in both directions. While we will gird our fragile hearts against being hurt, pain will make its attempts on us by any means necessary. It is in our soul to survive at all cost, even if it means violence. Try to resist the urges of your barbed heart. Simikiel knows not forgiveness. So, with the underworld and that Nine of Swords, it could be that there's some wound about some grudge. I mean, let's face it, if you are holding a grudge against something or someone, there is a wound there. Because if there wasn't a wound there, you wouldn't be holding the grudge. You know, you may have a slight distaste, but it wouldn't be a grudge. So yeah, if you've got any grudges, there's the first place to start on this. Because, like I say, there's a tower moment coming. And I feel like all of this is you going into training, setting yourself up ready for that tower moment, whatever that is, and whether you succeed or you fail. Simple as that. But you have the respite right now, the chance to work through whatever this Nine of Swords represents. So, that was heavy, eh? And there's a cheerful note, a tower moment is coming. But like I say, I think that can be a wonderful experience. I think that can set things right. But you have to do this work first. So if it means anything to you, Virgo, comment down below. Press the like and subscribe button while you're passing, if you would please. Because it really do help. And thank you everybody who has done so far. Your next reading is, I have no idea because I haven't planned that far ahead yet. But yeah, time for you to knuckle down and do some deep underworld work, Virgo. Best of luck. Have fun. Because that's the other thing that Birth is telling me here. Oh yes, I didn't mention this. King of Pentacles, Birth, one of the things his gifts answers questions about past, present and future. So again, there's that sense of looking at what you thought was dead, but has simply been sealed away in your own personal Tartarus. And reinterpreting some of those past experiences. Right, I'll shut up now. Yeah, good luck, Virgo. See you later.